What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ballhawk Fatima Lafonum of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Hey, Lions Talk Live, start of the new week, Monday show edition, and you know what? We've got a little bit of stuff for you guys to digest today. We're going to go ahead and go over the Lions 53-man roster predictions, at least my updated ones for you, and see what you guys have to say. I am going to let you know it's probably going to be a few eyebrow raises here, but again, let's make it a debate. Let's see what everybody's got to say about it. Also, before we get going with the meat of the show, a couple things in case you're new to the channel or whatever. Hey, if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so, making that push for 7,300. Now we need about 5 more subs to get to 72, but hey, the next goal after that is 7,300. So if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you're enjoying the content of the channel or this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up button. Try to get every video between 200 and 300 or more thumbs up, likes, however you want to determine it. Last but never least, in case you were not aware, outside of being a YouTuber and a coach, I am a realtor. So if you are looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, go ahead and you see my number on the screen. Give me a call or shoot me a text, 269-998-2384. Let's have a conversation about what I can do to try to make the process of buying property, whether it's commercial property, a second house, a new house, vacant land, whatever it may be. Go ahead and give me a call and let's see what we can do to make this process easy for you, stress-free, and maybe even save you some money. All right, with all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the first segment of the day, and that is going to be our 5 headlines now. So let's head on over to it. All right, 5 headlines of the day. Lions resumed practices, as we all know, yesterday. Got into it and went in through it after a couple days off after facing the New York Giants in New York. They flew back. Everybody got a couple days to rest, recuperate. So let's see what the 5 headlines are as we speak. Hendon Hooker injury update, no timeline to return. Detroit Lions may add a quarterback. Detroit Free Press story by Armand Garnett. So I think most people are hoping that Hendon Hooker can return for this weekend's contest against the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be real ideal for the team and for Hendon Hooker himself. Here we got a young guy, more or less a rookie, who's got a ton of potential. But what does he need? He needs experience and he needs reps. My personal belief is if you go through the 7-day protocol, he should be back by maybe at the latest Thursday, unless there's an unforeseen development. Now, is that going to be enough time to get him some reps? If we're lucky Thursday and maybe the walkthrough Friday, it's possible, but I'd say the chances are not the greatest if he has to go the full 7 days. If they clear him today, tomorrow, or whatever, where he gets a few days on the field to get reps, then I think there's a real strong possibility he's on the field this weekend. So you're splitting hair with some of the days, but I do think the Lions may have to go out and sign another quarterback this week to make sure they have at least 2 out there and available at Kansas City. If the Lions do not sign anybody by Wednesday, I think that's strong indication they believe that Hendon Hooker will be available and ready to go on Saturday. All right, Lions defensive line says, we're not going to take that stuff. I have no idea what that other word could be, so I'm just going to say stuff. After fights with the New York Giants, joint practices, Bleacher Report, Jack Murray on the report. So as we all know, the last week's joint practices with the Giants, hey, there were a ton of fights. You saw it on Pat McAfee, you saw it on ESPN, you saw it on 20 other different channels. The Lions weren't alone with these joint practice fights, But what we can say is that, the NFL took notice. The Lions probably got the lion's share of the coverage for it. And the Lions are trying to make sure they understand they are one of the 100 teams this year. They want everybody to make sure they're crystal clear in their intent. You come after us, we're not going to take that. We're going to smack you in the face and talk bad about your mom. So, yes, Lions are saying it's a no-fly zone to come after them. So, and good for them. They should establish some sort of, you want to make sure you don't put the game in risk or the team in jeopardy or anything like that or get suspensions. But, yeah, don't back down from people. All right, next of the 5 headlines is how Levi Onwuzurike went from back injury to Detroit Lions training camp standout. Yahoo Sports on this report. There are a multitude of reporters on this one, so I didn't want to credit just one individual. And I think they're spot on. You guys can let me know what your thoughts are, but Levi Onwuzurike is becoming one of the bigger noted preseason stories, not just for the Detroit Lions, but you'll see this more getting national attention. And you're even seeing some medical reports come out, medical journals, etc., come out and doing stories about this guy. What he is pulling off here is nothing short of a miracle. Let's not Scooby-Doo it and say this. The fact that I've never had a spinal infusion in any way, shape, or form, so I can't be as crystal clear on it as say Micro Mike or Kurt Steele or some of the other people watching the show that have informed me that, they've gone through similar procedures. And the fact that this young man is out there and not just playing in an NFL team, but he's playing at a high enough level where I think this dude might even start. If he doesn't start, he's going to get some massive run this season. He's performing incredibly well. It's a credit to the Lions, the medical department, and all involved. You, me, and everybody watching NFL football, when they see this guy go on the field, it is turning water into wine, the what he is out there doing. All right, observation, Jameson Williams struggles, Jake Bates blast, Sports Illustrated, story by John Macaron. So longtime, beat reporter for Sports Illustrated. Jameson Williams, just so you guys know, he had some struggles yesterday. Everybody was reporting it. Probably his worst overall day in camp. 90% of camp or whatever percentage you want to put on it, he was off. It wasn't his greatest day. But then also the last 10 or 15% of practice happened and he exploded, did incredibly well. There was one catch where he went up over like 3 defenders, pulled it down, pulled a Megatron moment. And that last 10 or so percent, whatever it was, he drank his Mountain Dew, turned on the Jets, and became the Jameson Williams we've heard about all summer. And then the kick with Jake Bates, I do have that pulled up, so let's go ahead and show you guys. Many of you guys may have seen it. A few of you guys even sent it to me, but for those who haven't, let's go ahead and take a peek. Jake Bates, this is from 64 yards, what we're about to see. And if you watch the video, that thing might have been good from 74 yards. So let's go ahead and pull this up, cue it up, and let you guys see it. And let me make it full screen here, or as full screen as I can. There's a whole lot of distance. Once that thing goes through the upright, there's a whole lot of distance left on it. So I don't know how, maybe there's somebody actually tracked it and could say, hey, this thing was good from 68, 70 some yards. It looks like an additional 10 yards of leeway it had to me. So if they're saying it was a 64 yarder, then yes, that thing could have went through from 74, but somebody may have more official stats on that than me. What we can say about Jake Bates, everybody gets it across the league. This dude is got a howitzer for a leg. He needs more accuracy. He needs more time to grow and develop. But what we're starting to see more and more later last week, then the preseason game, and now early this week, you're probably understanding why the Lions haven't brought in another kicker. They believe they can coach this kid up. They can develop him. They can turn him into the greatest kicking weapon in the NFL. That doesn't mean he's not going to mess up from time to time, but I get what the Lions coaching staff are saying. They have enough self-belief and belief in this kid. They're saying, hey, there's going to be nobody else in the league that can hit 70-yard field goals. Let that sink in. 70-yard field goals, and this kid can do it. All right, last of the five headlines now. Detroit Lions training camp observations. Jameson Williams makes the play of the day. That's the one I mentioned earlier where he went up over 3 defenders, hauled it on in. The story from Detroit Free Press, story by Jared Ramsey and Jeff Seidel. So both of them are covering different things with the Lions practice. As you guys know, multiple fields, one guy in each. But there are a number of notes. If you guys want all the detailed information, this is probably the best report on yesterday's do's and don'ts happenings at camp. So, all right, with the 5 headlines out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to our main topic of the day. So if I can get this queued up here, main topic of the day coming up. All right, so let me also know what you guys think of the new intro video. It's not a whole lot different than the last one. I did want to try to trim about 10 or so. I think I got about 13 seconds off it. Just make it a little bit shorter. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Plus you get some other people in the video for you. All right, we're going to head on over to the 53-man roster predictions and projections. And now I'm going to walk you guys through it. So there'll be a number of things to it. Let's pull it up on the screen. Get it up there for you guys. Let me make this a full screen. So I'll narrate it. And apologies if if it's a little small. I know some people watch the show on the cell phone. It's not much I can do about that, guys. So I will go ahead and narrate it. So here's what I have for the 53-man roster prediction. Jared Goff is your number 1. Hendon Hooker is your number 2. If you see red on the screen and you can actually read this stuff, Isaiah Williams, I have him as our emergency number 3. Red just means, hey, you're being flexed to a different position other than your primary position. And we'll go through that in time. You'll see it. All right, halfback, Gibbs 1, Montgomery 2, Craig Reynolds 3, Baki 4. Now, could Baki be number 3? Man, I think there's a real chance for that, but I didn't want to give him too much credit too soon. All right, fullback, I don't think we're carrying one. Malcolm Rodriguez will be your primary fullback, and Bo Plan, your backup. Now, Bo Plan was brought in for a multitude of reasons. Part of it, if you pay back or go back and look at some of his high school tape, etc., he does play fullback or some offensive positions. So it's my anticipation, outside of getting somebody who is good on special teams, also fairly fast at linebacker, he could also go back to something in high school where he was a running back, fullback, etc. So you solve a multitude of things there by bringing him on. All right, tight end, I've got us going with 3. Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, Parker Hess, and Malcolm Rodriguez is your number 4. Just like last year, he did play linebacker, yes, special teams also, fullback, and tight end from time to time. I think Malcolm's going to resume that this year. All right, wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown 1, Williams 2, Khalif Raymond 3, Darius Fountain, yes, I've got him making it 4, Isaiah Williams 5, and Gibbs will be your 6th wide receiver. As I note on here, Isaiah Williams is going to be also your number 3 quarterback in this scenario. Now, this is where we'll probably take a lot of grief from things for a multitude of reasons when it comes to the offensive line. Most teams carry 8 or 9 offensive linemen. I've got the Lions carrying 10, and here's why. All right, let's start with the starters. Taylor Decker, your starting left tackle. Penei Sewell, your backup. So if something happens to Deck, we all get it. Penei's switching over to left tackle. Dan Skipper would be your primary backup. Glasgow would be your number 1 left guard. Giovanni Manu, because of yesterday's signings, and I think a couple other tidbits, I think they're going to slide him inside to guard. Frank the Tank Ragnow at number 1 center. Duke Clements, and I think he's one of the better backups in the league right now. Maybe that won't hold water, a couple months from now, but I've got him as your primary backup at the center. Kevin Zettler at your right guard. Christian Mahogany as your backup. Penei Sewell, left tackle. Dan Skipper, your primary backup. And Kobe Scoresdale will back him up. So I've got 10 offensive linemen, and the reason why is just the strength of most of these younger backups. Skipper's not young, I get that, but he can also play some tight end in certain packages, like last year. He can even play a little bit of fullback. I did not list him as those options on here. Probably should have. But Scoresdale, Mahogany, Clemens, Giovanni Manu, they're all too young to put them on the practice squad. Otherwise, they will get gobbled up. So I think you're going to keep them all. Skipper, his versatility keeps him on. So it gives you 5 different guys who can back up the primaries, and I think they all have a lot of upside potential. Will we keep 10? I can't say for certain, but that's what I chose to do. So just so you guys are aware. All right, moving on down. Now let's go to defensive end. I got Aiden Hutchinson as your right end 1. James Houston will be your right end 2. He'll back him up. He'll also play the slob backer, so the Sam backer. Number 3, John Kaminsky, you're going to see him noted here with an asterisk. he's going to make the team, but because he's going to be on the IR in my projections, thank you. But we all get it. He's not going to be back till maybe late December, right around there. All right, left end number 1, Marcus Davenport is the guy. Josh Pascal is number 2. I know there's been a lot of speculation about Josh Pascal not making the team, but you know what? They didn't even dress him for the Giants game. To me, like all of your number 1 guys, if you're not dressing him, that's a big sign. You think he's untouchable. You don't want him to get hurt. So I'm going by that kind of communication from the coaching staff. I think Pascal is the real deal. He's going to be the backup, and he could even back up Hutchinson too, maybe even play some interior defensive line. Okay, so at your defensive tackle 1I, so your interior eye, we have DJ Reader. So I have him starting the year on IR. I think he's going to miss the first 2 games. That's my current prediction, but a lot can change the next 3 weeks. Maybe he's back by the Rams game. Levi Onwuzurike is going to back him up, and Kyle Pico is going to be your number 3. DTS, so your short stack DT, your guy that's primarily your rusher out of those 2. Lee McNeil and then Broderick Martin backing him up. All right, going to left end, Marcus Davenport. I've got him over here as well. Oops, hold on. I put this one on twice, so I apologize for that. So I made an error here. Apologies. Davenport left end, Mekhi Wingo will be the backup there. So, yes, I made a mistake there. It should be Mekhi Wingo, the number 3 defensive end on the left side. But I do want you to also pay note here. I have Mekhi Wingo as as a defensive tackle too. We all get it. He can play inside and out. So that's why I have him notated here. Nate Lynn, I actually think he might have made the 53-man roster if he didn't get hurt, but he is going on the IR now, so he'll be out this year, but I think he's got a bright future with the Detroit Lions. All right, right outside linebacker, Alex Anzalone 1, Malcolm Rodriguez number 2. As I also noted and talked about before, he'll play fullback and the tight end. Let's see, your Mike Macker, Jack Campbell, Jalen Reeves, Maben. Although Maben's going to be probably more of a Sam backer. I actually think if you went to it, they probably move Anzalone to the backup Mike Backer versus Jalen Reeves, Maben. I just had to fill up a slot here, so it's a technicality splitting here. All right, Sam linebackers currently, I've got Derek Barnes and Bo Plan, who's also going to play some fullback, maybe some other spots too. Outside cornerback 1, so Carlton Davis. Rakestraw is going to back him up. As you'll note, he's also going to play the backup nickelback spot this year. I got Terrion Arnold playing the other outside. Kendall Vildor playing the backup role there. Robertson taking your primary nickelback spot. Enos Rakestraw going to back him up. Emmanuel Mosley, who could return later this year. I'm projecting late November, early December. Is currently on the IR, but he could be there as well. Here's where you're going to probably get a little bit of eyebrow raises here. Kirby Joseph, your primary deep drop safety. 1, Brandon Joseph. I got him winning the other spot out there. I know, Nick, what is his name? Nichols. There's a lot of people projecting him to make it. I just think Joseph, he's got that it factor, that wow factor. I think he's going to beat him out, so I think he'll make the backup there. Brian Branch, your strong safety or floating safety with Ife Malafanu backing him up. Jack Fox, your punter. Jake the Hitman Bates as your kicker. Scott Daly, it might not be as a big a shoe-in to make the long snapper spot. I know he's in some heated competition in camp this year. It wasn't initially thought that it would be that heated, but it has turned out to be that way. Kickoff punt returners, Baki and Raymond. So that's what I got for you guys. Let's see what you guys have to say about it, and head on over to the Duke Crew and all your guys' comments about it. But I think you got what you can note from that, from looking over the 53-man roster. There's a lot of youth on this team, and a lot of guys the coaching staff has got real eyes on. So just using the offensive line example, I can't see you putting any of those guys on the practice squad unless you want them out of Detroit real quick. So it's nothing against like Yodi or some of the other guys. He's good at run blocking, his pass blocking, especially this summer and this preseason. You've heard a lot of people talk about it. It hasn't been that great. So if you're a little bit older player and you're already even with the younger player, maybe the younger player is even a little bit better. My guess is you're leaving the older player alone. You're going with the younger player. and understanding they're going to have more upside. I was sad to say that Nick Lynn, got put on the IR. I really liked how he performed this training camp and preseason. Man, I think you've got something there long term with him. It would have been nice to have him this year. But let's see what you guys have to say over in the Duke Crew. I've been babbling long enough, giving you guys my thoughts. Let's see and read your thoughts. If I can get to the top of the comment section, here we go. JDC, good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Robert, Dan, the Duke Crew, greetings and salutations. Back at you, Robert. Always good to see you in the chat. I hope it doesn't rain for a second preseason game. It might, my friend. Hey, the good thing is you can't tip too many of your cards over what you might be running on offense if you don't show it. See, Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. All aboard! Exclamation point. I see Super Bowl. Woo! 100%, my friend, 100%. Detroit D, greetings and salutations to everyone. Back at you. Jesse, greetings and salutations. So I wonder who the coaching staff will try to keep how they will try to keep some of this talent. We are pretty deep and we can't keep them all. No, it's going to be the biggest mystery about this 53-man roster. Do you go with some older players to get rid of younger players? Do you keep younger players and get rid of older players? You're going to get rid of good players one way or the other, and that's the sad part for the Detroit Lions. It's going to be good for some other teams with lesser talent. All right, see, Detroit D, let's have a injury-free week of practice as the season draws closer, 100%. Keep some of these guys healthy, keep them on the mend, keep them getting ready. So I wonder if Zettler will be back this week. My anticipation is next week, being a veteran the way he is. Plus, he doesn't need that many reps to get back on board. I would probably be, if I'm the Lions, I'm probably letting him rest all this week. All right, Clark, good morning, all. Anyone know if there's a Hooker update? I'll say this. If they don't think Hooker's going to play or be able to play Saturday, we should know by tomorrow. If the Lions don't bring in another quarterback, that way they can have, a practice or two to get everything acclimated to them, then yeah, there's Hooker's going to be out there and play. If they bring in somebody, then I think Hooker's probably out. Bo, upon further review, I approve the new linebacker, the Bo plan, man. There you go, man. Yeah, and the more I had an opportunity to actually watch some of his stuff, and there's not a lot there, but he's young, he's fast. I really like his body structure and his mechanics. When you watch him wrap up, he does a pretty good job with it. I think he needs more coaching and more technique, but let that also sink in. There are a whole lot of guys on this team that fit that description, whether it's Broderick Martin, Manu, you could say Jamison Williams when he arrived, guys that got by on a lot of physical ability, not so much technical ability, and now this coaching staff is taking them, building them up. Even when you look at Jake Bates and that kick, we all get it. This guy is kicked for a very short amount of time, so his upside should be pretty heavy with proper coaching. So that's why I think they haven't brought in anybody else as of yet. All right, Big Eddie, good morning. Let the best players win, exclamation point. 14-3 season ahead for us, and I'm calling it now. I'm down with that. 14-3 worked for me. Bo concurs with your 14-3. Dr. Detroit, good morning. Good morning to you too, good sir. Robert, Dan, I have listened to your show for over 700 episodes. Man, have I had 700 episodes? I don't even know. I guess that's a good question. But hey, Robert, either way, man, thanks for being here all the time, man. Big Daz, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew, exclamation point. I believe it was you who said they should trade some of their excess talent for a backup quarterback. Sounds good to me. Oh, yeah. I think at some point, especially since all the cuts are at the same time now, you're going to have so many guys hitting the waiver wire. I do believe there's a real opportunity. The coaching staff or the front office, whoever, says, hey, we know we're getting rid of these guys. Make some phone calls to some other general managers, see if anybody wants to acquire some of them for late round picks, or maybe we can swap, guy A for guy B. So I think there's a chance for some of that, especially when you get to within about 24, 48 hours from the deadline. France, good evening, all. I'm thinking we keep just 2 quarterbacks and 6 wide receivers, 15-2, and the Super Bowl, baby. I think we're pretty much on the same page with the quarterbacks. Wide receivers 6. It's possible for sure, but now you're taking away from somewhere else. 6 wide receivers would be a pretty good amount. See, Matthew, greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. And just for you, my friend. There we go, a little woo. All right, Stephanie, good morning, boys. At work today, so just listening in this morning. Dan, I think your guy, Houston, could be in some trouble to make the team. I know that a lot of that's been speculated, but I'm just going to say my opinion, sort of like with Pascal. If you're not dressing him for the game, that's probably a good sign, especially the first preseason game. Now, obviously, they played Houston, but they played him almost exclusively as the Sam backer, having him work on linebacker coverage and abilities, skill sets. I think they're only investing those reps into him if they're trying to develop him in order to keep him. I may ultimately be proven way wrong with it. Only time's going to tell. AJ, good morning, everyone. Back at you. Darcy, greetings, salutations all. No doubts about it. This is our year. I concur with that. Trumps, I could pop a better president. All right, you can poop a better president. Well, it happens, man. I'd say, no politics here, Trump. Come on, man. You know better than that. Let's keep this politically free. Bo, I think the PFF ratings as well as other observers have missed what he is actually doing. If you're judging him strictly as a pass rusher, you are off. Yeah, I think you're right with that. And I get Houston is not sound at some things, but I also get they're investing a lot into him this preseason to try to get a little bit more out of him. So where it ultimately goes, we'll have to see. See, Trey, what's good, everybody? Exclamation point. I think we might need to sign another quarterback for this week if Hooker is going to be out for most of it, the lead up to KC. Yeah, come tomorrow. If we haven't seen anybody signed, I think probably that's a strong indication they believe Hooker's okay. If not, there we go. All right, Trumps. Woo! Good morning, all. Woo! Back at you. Let's see, Bo. I was talking about Houston. Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with, Bo. 100%. Preseason injuries stink. Yes, they are not great. And I do think we're on borrowed time with the preseason in the NFL. I think there's just a growing movement to get rid of them. But let's also forget the NFL is a business. You get rid of 2 more preseason games, you're probably adding at least 1 more regular season game. So my guess is they ultimately go to more of the college system where, hey, your first 3 or 4 games, 6 games or whatever, they're non-divisional games, they're build-up games, get everybody right games, etc. I think that's probably ultimately where we go. Bo, all injuries suck. I concur. Trump's such a waste in preseason. I agree. Yeah, once upon a time, I think I understood why they did it. Nowadays, I just think there's less need for it. Matthew, the 53, is going to be the hardest choices Dan and Brad have had to make since coming to Detroit. But I think they will make the right choices. I think Dan will coach the team to a 14-3 season. 14-3, I would take. And yes, I think we're all on board with that. Hey, the 53, whether it's mine or something similar or whatever they come up with, I think they're going to have some real battles for every position. Let it sink in that even for the long snapper, there is competition going on and heated competition in practice. Trump 17-0. Woo! I'll go with that. That would be a great season, man. Is that so you? Trump's a genius. There you go. Check. All right. I don't know on my screen. It's just a check at Trump's. All right. Later, all man has to do man things. We'll go enjoy your man things to do. Hey, have a good day, my friend. Phil, good morning. Back at you, Phil. Lions fan number 1. Good morning, everyone. 14-3 record in the regular season. Undefeated postseason. Undefeated postseason means you are Super Bowl champs. I'll take that. See, Phil, 10-7 and a wild card trip to the playoffs. All right, fair enough. I'm hoping we get a little bit more than that, but we'll wait and see. Trump, once Bates masters the accuracy, he will be a dangerous weapon. I agree with that. I think that's why they haven't brought in anybody else. They see what they got with him. Now, coach him up. Quentin, greetings, salutations, all. I am getting ready for. I'm getting dang itchy for the year, and to get here, Coach D. Come on now, they need to push these warm-up games out the door. Yeah, the preseason, I get it, man. I think it's on borrowed time. It's been around forever. I get it. I can remember when they used to have 4 preseason games. The starters would play. The 3rd preseason game was basically a warm-up game. The starters would play till halftime. That was your norm. But that's no longer the norm, and I do think there is a strong possibility preseason is extinct within the next 10 years or sooner. Let's see, Quentin. Yes, sir. Trump's. You see that boy kick yesterday? Dude, crushed that stuff. Yeah, he nailed that shot without question. Bo, Booming Bates, master of the long shot. He is, man. And if you guys can think of a kicker that you've seen hit shots as deep and long as this guy, let me know. But to be honest, in all the years I've covered the Lions or the NFL, I just can't think anybody with that kind of leg. I mean, the fact that he's consistently hitting shots that would be good from 70 plus, that's insane to me. All right, Mike, good morning, Duke Crew and Lions fans, soon to be Duke Crew. Woo, woo, and oh yeah, I'll go with all the above, Mike, and good morning to you too. Don, Broski, I'm here waiting on you. It's been fun dog walking you all weekend. All right, there you go, dog walking him all weekend. See, Trump, he will definitely hold the Lions record for the longest field goal. Yeah, I think there's a real chance he sets the NFL record this year. Just what's the NFL record? 64, 65? I think he can hit that shot and beat it. Let's see, Voltron, good morning, members of the Duke Crew, back at you. Voltron, Trump, I think he will set the NFL record this year for longest kick. I concur with that. Matthew, any losses we have this year will be by 7 or less points, and the last 2 minutes of the game will decide the outcome. Go Lions, one pride, Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. I agree with all the above. Good morning to you too, Matthew. See, John, good morning. All hope as well. Hope it's a great day for you too, Johnny. See, Trump, woo! Donnie in the house. He is in the house. John, Thunder and Lightning. Dwayne, I agree, Bo Booth. I think they're asking Houston to do other things besides rush the passer. They are. And again, I bring this up from time to time. His rookie year, later in the year, they started that progression. Obviously, things were cut short last year. You know, he got whatever it was, basically 2 games when you mash them all together. That's what he got. But obviously, the San Francisco game, he was not healthy. The Kansas City game to start the year, I actually thought he played well. He didn't get a ton of snaps, but he played well. He got the Pat Mahomes and did some stuff. Now, you know, where is he going to go this year? We're going to have to wait for the season to see. See, Don, mustard and ketchup, 1,000%. Phil, keep it short, folks. There's only so much time to read these. Agreed. See, Steve Rogers, greetings and salutations. All the captain is reporting. Good morning to you too, Cap. Bo, bash, and slash in the backfield. I'll down with that. Phil, American, okay, I'll go with that, Phil. Jason, good morning, all. I hope we find another backup quarterback soon. Superdome or bust. I got to remember that. Superdome or bust. And good morning, Jason, by the way. Let's see, John, thumbs up for the crew, 100%. Thank you for all those who hit the thumbs up like button. We've got a little over 600 people watching on all the platforms. Hit the thumbs up if you could, please. See, so come on, everyone, hit that like and subscribe button for Dan and the Duke Crew. Yes, do it for the crew, do it for the channel, help everybody out. See, Trump's the longest field goal ever kicked by a Lion is Matt Prater, 59 yards. Is it that? All right, it's been a minute, but yes, that is a record I think he can break this year. Bo Booth, thumbing up. John, a serious storm front is forming. Well, let's hope it is all thunder and lightning from the Lions coming down on the opposing foes. Coach Dan, this site is out of sight. Thank you. 100%, man. I enjoy it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too. So I enjoy this every morning, man. Amy, and thanks for that, John, by the way. Amy, greetings and salutations, Dan of the Duke Crew, exclamation point. I am so ready to watch the regular season. Just curious as to how it will all transpire. I agree we need to find another backup quarterback. Hope they have started looking. Go Lions. My anticipation is, Amy, and everybody has this same question. My guess is they've already been in conversations with some more veteran backup quarterbacks. I know we've talked about it in the last few days. My also anticipation is if you're a good enough backup quarterback, you're probably not signing until after the last preseason game because it's just reality of that position. You're hoping somebody gets hurt that generates an opening for you and an opportunity for you to be a starting quarterback once again in the NFL. Jerome, good morning, Coach. What say you? Do we play starters or not? I say no way. Yeah, I think MCDC's mantra is it's a no-fly zone for starters. I don't see them going out there. It's just going to be against the Rams. Hey, we'll have to win with our starters having not played in the preseason. See, Trump's a storm is coming in November. Okay, yep. America, you can only Trump's. Come on, man. None of this stuff in the chat. Let's make it real clear. I love you being in the show, but keep the political stuff out of the channel. I will not ask again, my friend. See, 9 drinks. Great salutations, all. Woo! Back at you. Let's see, David, good morning, Dan of the Duke Crew. Happy Monday. Back at you, my friend. Hopefully it's a great day, David. See, Broski, good morning, Dan of the Duke Crew. Oh, yeah. All right. Good morning to see you, Broski. Broski is in the house. Brent, good morning, Duke Crew. Lions rule, Bears drool. Oh, yeah. As we're great. Good morning, Coach the Duke Crew. I made it live. Super Bowl Lions. Good morning to you. Great. Hopefully it is a great day for you, my friend. Trump's good morning, Bear. Kurt Steele, what up, Dude Crew? I'm still in Texas. The show will be back on Wednesday. Well, hopefully you're having a good time over there, my friend. Good time indeed. See, Trump's love America. Well, you gotta love it. You know, we live here. See, Ranting Cute Greens Sanitation Salt. What's up, peeps? Jamaican style. All right. Hey, man. By the way, I had some, what is that hot sauce? Something Reaper, Carolina Reaper. Put it on some spaghetti last night. I like spicy food. And, that stuff was hot. That was legit. I had to actually drink some water with it. It stuck with me for a minute, but I loved it. Not that has anything to do with anything, but anyways. Sash, what do you got? Good morning, crew. Back at you. Non-Burr. Bears are hype over a fragile Austin Booker. Kid is light in the, yes, unproven. Swift is definitely giving them 4 games this year. You know, I wish Swift all the best, but yes, unfortunately, he struggles to stay healthy. Ranting Q, what's up, Kurt? Oh, there you go. Pat, good morning, Coach Dan. Oh, yeah. See, Bates had a 64-yard field goal yesterday. Oh, yeah. Hopefully you saw the video. I ran it earlier in the show, Pat. I'm guessing you probably did. Bo, Levi certainly looks and sounds upbeat in his interviews. Yeah, he seems like he's got some bounce to him. He seems healthy. He seems right. He seems like he's ready to have a breakout season. See, Casey, good morning, gents. Enjoy the end of summer and coming football season. God bless you and your family, Dan. Hey, back at you, Casey. Hopefully you get nothing but God's love, too. Hopefully everybody is just getting ready for football season because, man, it will be here very quickly. Don, been new. Levi was the real deal. He was the top-rated defensive line coming out that year. He was. And let's be honest, if he didn't have the back issue, he probably would have been about a top 15 pick in the first round. I get why they took the reach on him. I get it. And, hey, it was a flip of a coin if this was going to work out for him. What has happened with him, his recovery, man, I have no doubt when the season's over, that thing holds up, that back holds up. You're going to have all sorts of medical experts from around the planet coming in to talk to the Lions medical staff to, examine Levi and just see what they can learn from it. Because whatever happened, man, they did it right. And they're going to want to pass that on, obviously, to other people that go through a similar injury. See, Anthony, good morning, Dew Crew. Back at you, Anthony. Hopefully you have a great one. Thanks all you do for the show, by the way. See, Broski, Trump's Genius, Phil, Brent DeWitt, Bo Booth, Amy, John, Casey, good morning. Good morning to them all. See, Courtney, Levi looks good. My bulging disc repair with solid nutrition. Doctor, pass on fusion. Hey, that's good stuff, man. Real good. And happy it fixed it corrected itself. Don, J-Mo had 2 drop passes and probably the catch of the day. It's football. Yeah, nobody's going to play at 100% all the time. You're going to have bad days. I mean, heck, even Rodney Pete threw an interception one time. It was only one time, though. All right, let's see. Silver Server, good morning, Coach, and everyone else. Back at you, Silver. Hopefully you're having a great day, my friend. See, Don Broski on here. I'm trying to make friends. Hey, it's good to have friends. Bob Ross always said, everyone needs a friend, even a tree. See, Anthony, 70, easy wow. Yeah, there we go. See, Brent, good morning, Broski. Anthony, if we get our 45 weekend score, yes. If we get to our 45 weekend score, that is true with Jake Bates, man. And I do think some point during the season, right before half, somebody kicks off to us. We get to the 25. You just try to get 5-10 yards. Everybody's playing prevent defense. And, yeah, Jake Bates is going to be able to make him pay for it because he's going to be able to put it through the uprights. Probably set an NFL record, too. Bo, spicy meatball coming off Jake Bates. Yeah, it was some spicy meatball. See, Phil, Mr. Bear, and Phil's got, a picture of the Duke Crew guitar. It is a great guitar, by the way. Phil, just I have my daughter trying to play it the other day, so she's messing with it. See, yada, yada. Good morning, Coach. Woo, woo, woo. And just for you, hit the wrong button initially. All right, Bo, good morning, Lord Vormont. There you go, Broski. Dan, any update on the health of the 2 big free agent signings, Reeder and Zettler? Will either play next preseason game? Will either or both be ready for week 1? They're not going to play in the preseason, just like the rest of the starters. Zettler, I believe he'll be out there against the Rams 100%. I'm guessing he'll be back on the practice field next week. Reeder, that's probably the bigger question mark. If he's not back the week leading into the first regular season game, then my guess is week 2 or 3. But you're here to get him for the North and later in the season, the postseason. Whether or not he's out there week 1, I mean, who knows, man. Anthony, let's see, would like to know his longest unofficial one. Longest unofficial, I want to say, is close to 70. But I also know some of the ones he officially hit in the UFL. They measured them, whatever tracking mechanics they have or software. He had a couple that went over 70 yards. So he hits that, man. That's probably going to sit around, excuse me, in the record books for a long time. Let's see, Don, what do you got? Coach Dan, to put it boldly, at Broski, want to know if Reader and Zettler are looking bad. Hopes for Bears' sake. Yeah, I think they're both going to be fine by the time we play the Bears. So unless something else happens to them, of course. Phil Hooker is not number 2, hasn't earned it, and is not ready. The only problem is, Phil, who else are you going to put there? I mean, I'm not putting Nate there. Suckfield is not my number 2, unless he really does something vastly different this week and the following week. Yeah, I don't even have him making the roster. Maybe practice squad, but I don't think he's any threat for some other team to take him if he's on the practice squad. See, and I should have probably built a practice squad on that, 53-man projection. Anthony, he's going to have to be for the time because we don't have another one. Yes, that's kind of where I'm at. He's the winner by default. Would he be better served being the number 3 and just slowly learning for a year or so? Probably. Ultimately, the Lions may make an addition, but if you want one of the real good backup quarterbacks that are still at least available, you're going to have to wait about another week and a half to be able to sign them. Anthony, but I agree, he isn't ready. Yeah, he isn't, but right now there ain't nobody else. Casey, you don't think Zylstra makes the 53? No, I think he'll make the practice squad. That's my opinion. It's just when I built the list, it went through it. Obviously, you can't keep everybody. And there are a lot of good players that aren't on this list. The reason why I kept Parker Hess is just his run blocking is dang good. And he's not bad in pass catching. Zylstra, I like him, especially in pass routes and such. His run blocking is nowhere near what Parker Hess is. So it will come down, I will put it to you this way. It will come down to this. Do you keep Hess knowing that you can just run block with him, or do you keep Zylstra and say, hey, Dan Skipper can be our blocking tight end? But now you tip your hand a little bit more when you have him out there as a tight end. I don't know, man. That's at least where I went. But a case could be made for somebody else for sure. I'd say Mike the Marine Gunny. Howdy, Dan, the Duke crew. Woo, woo, woo. Good morning to you, too, Gunny. Say Paul Hooker is absolutely backup quality quarterback. Yeah, and he's going to need time to grow, develop. But until you get somebody who's clearly better, he's probably your backup. See, Pat, good roster coach. Woo! Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for that, Pat. Let's see, Mike the Marine. Lions won't carry 10 offensive linemen, but 8 or 9 because of the NFL rules allow teams to dress 48 players instead of 46 for games. Woo! Yeah, and it's just, to me, I went with that many because of the youth at those positions. And thinking about a year from now, what do you do? Is Glasgow going to be back? Is Zettler going to be back? That I don't know. I just think if you expose any of those younger guys to the practice squad, they're gone. Somebody else will snag them real quick. So we'll have to wait and see. Could it be 8 and 9? Could it be the 10 I projected? It's going to be a tough spot for the Lions in the front office. I'd see, Anthony, I think Houston might get traded. Now, that is a possibility. It just comes down to what you get in return. See, Amy, Dan, I noticed you didn't put Arnold on the he's on that roster, Amy. He is. He's cornerback number 2. So he's the outside cornerback, Terrion Arnold, number 2. Yep. So you got cornerback outside number 1 and cornerback outside number 2. He's on there. So, all right, Don, after a full 2 quarters of play, people will be raving even more about Hooker. It could be, man. It could be, especially when he gets out there. He just gets more opportunity to grow and improve. Brosi, I didn't realize that Cleve Raymond is only 5'8" and 30 years old. Even more than I initially thought is now riding on Jameson stepping it up and becoming a legit number 1 wide receiver. I don't think he'll be a number 1, but could he be a number 2? Either way, I think you're going to have a pretty good season from Jameson Williams. I'll put it this way. If you believe in the coaching staff, the scouting department, the front office, they would not go out and not sign another wide receiver if they didn't have that kind of belief. We can all say, hey, coaches, man, this guy's a great hire, this, that, and the other thing. But for whatever reason, when a coach makes a choice and decision, sometimes a lot of people want to second guess it. That never made any sense to me. You believe in them when they hire them. You say they're a great coach. But yet if they don't make the roster move that all of us want, we go, well, what the heck are they doing? They probably have more information than the rest of us is what I would say. See, Anthony, and a quarterback might be in the mix. Yeah, it might be. It might be. We'll have to wait and see. But like I said, about a week and a half to get that answer. See, Don Cleve was never thought of as a number 2. No, he's not going to be a number 2. He'll be a number 3 or 4, depending on the formation and setup. See, Brent, hope Hooker heals quickly and gets back on to work. He needs reps. He does need them badly, and I'm sure they're going to talk to him when he gets out there on the field. Hey, you need to stay out there to learn. You got to stop trucking people and taking hits. Chuck Cheese, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo! Good morning to you too. Buddy, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you, buddy. John, for a long time, I used to watch David T, and I stumbled across this site, and I've been here ever since. Well, thanks for being here, man, John. I know we've been seeing you more and more, so I enjoy having you here. Hopefully you enjoy being part of the Duke Crew. Let's see, Don Hooker will be fine. He just needs to slide, and I'm sure Coach Dan, Ben Johnson, and Mark Brunell all gave him an earful. Yeah, 100%. They don't want him taking those hits and shots. I agree with that. See, Pat, who did you have as your tight ends? Heard look out for Hess. Yes, so from tight ends, I had, survey says, Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, Parker Hess, Malcolm Rodriguez as your 4th, and Dan Skipper would be also on there too as a 5th in certain situations. Broski, I like your final roster breakdown. What is your assessment of the left end spot? Seems questionable with Davenport starting and essentially no depth. Do you expect Brad Holmes to make a move before week 1? I actually like the depth at both defensive lines. So Joshua Pascal, I get people questioned whether or not he'd make it this year. I think the Lions and the coaching staff gave you a huge tell when they didn't dress him for the preseason game. He's not injured. That means they're pretty happy with him. James Houston currently, I also have as the depth there. I like those two. You also have Levi Onwuzurike who will play some there. Mekhi Wingo will play some there. So I'm liking our depth there. I think it's pretty sound. All right, see, Don, Brosi, you're trying to be a good guy because you told all the Bears fans about the show and you know some are watching. Peeps your strategy. All right, we'll go with that. Derek, good morning, coach and crew. There are a couple of good wide receivers available. Do you think we make a move for anyone? It is definitely possible. When we get closer to the 53-man roster reveal or final cuts, that's where I think you might have some opportunities for this team to maybe Scooby-Doo, negotiate with some other teams. Hey, we're going to get rid of this guy. We'll trade him for that guy, that kind of stuff. So wait and see. The next 2 weeks will be pretty fun for Lions fans. We should have some good transactions going on. You see that the team keeps adding guys. Also, one of the guys I really struggled with is the new hire or signing, Jones, the left tackle, who can play right tackle. I really wanted to find a way to keep him. I get he's got some temper issues, but this guy's got some real talent too. It's just, who do you get rid of in order to keep him? I don't know. Maybe get rid of Skipper to keep him, but Skipper seems so enshrined here. I don't know. It's going to be tough for the Lions either way. See, Gary, good morning, all. Grit for life, exclamation points. I really have no idea as far as the D goes, who is going to start where. Laughing out loud. We have a lot of Swiss Army knives. And that's where I think you're spot on. So I try to highlight as many different possibilities to fill in holes on offense or defense with guys that play both sides or both ways. I think you're going to have a whole lot watching it. Broski, wow, there's 198 watching. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe. Support Coach Dan. Thanks for that, Broski, brother. Thank you very much. Don Burr, guy, hilarious, 100%. Let's see, Arturus, the Jedi. Oh, yeah, go Lions. Back at you, go Lions. Love the duck, by the way, in the thumbnail. See, Anthony, hit that thumbs up button. Yes, if you guys would, consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button. Ron, let's go Lions. Just Real, 103, 100%. Let's go Lions all the way into the Super Bowl. See, Trump's hit that button. Yes, pretty pleased with Mountain Dew on top. Hit that thumbs up button, that like button, all the other buttons. Dimitri, good morning. Dan and Lions fam. Woo! And just for you, let's give you a Sheila. Always good. Let's see, Sanders. Let's see, Betts and Manu look good. Manu, I think he makes it because they're going to keep developing him. Can he be more of a tackle? Sure, in time. I think they're going to probably work him inside out. Betts, I don't have him making the roster, but if he shows well the next couple weeks, that could change some conversations. That's the one thing for us to keep in mind. A lot of these guys, I mean, you're splitting hairs between one or the other. If somebody has a real breakout week, 1 or 2 weeks in a row, that's going to change the final 53-man roster for sure. See, Anthony agreed 14-3. I'll take that. Ranty Q, what's up, Broski Bear? Ed, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke crew. Lions better find a backup quarterback. Hooker is not the guy. I think they will probably keep some eyes open for sure, Ed. So hopefully you're having a great day and go enjoy the fishing, my friend, while listening in. Pat, I think they're going to keep 5 wide receivers, 4 tight ends. They love them tight ends. Oh, yeah. Woo! You could be right, Pat. They could be. They could keep another one for sure. Anthony Houston and Sam didn't impress me. No, he needs some work for sure out there. It's not his normal position, not something he's used to. He's going to need some time to develop for sure. Broski, hi, Ranty Q. How you doing? How you doing? How you both doing? See, Derek, wasn't PFF designed for fantasy football? Probably a lot of truth to that. A whole lot of truth, Derek. Let's see, Anthony, was like he really didn't care, no jump in his step. Yeah, he's got some work to do. I think he's out there thinking versus reacting, and that's the problem. Anytime you have to think, new positions, new circumstances, that slows you down. I talk about a lot when guys, are asked to play new positions or out of spots. You watch their hand mechanics because they have to think about all the blocking or block shedding, and yeah, it's a different world. Gray, Levi, and Aleem starting is the plan 3 years ago, coming into manifestation. Yes, Levi you're spot on with that, Ezra Gray, that they had an idea for both the guys. Obviously, Aleem's been mostly healthy throughout his time here. Levi's getting there, and now it's all coming to fruition. Let's see, Pat, awesome. You say no politics here, sir? Yes. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's a place for it. It's just not in Lions Talk Live. I try to keep all that stuff out. I don't really pay attention to politics in real life, so I have no desire for it here. Just let's keep it out here and just keep this focused on the Lions. Unless you want to talk Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew's fine too. Let's see. Here's Johnny. What up, Dew? What up to you too? Hopefully a good one. Ranty Q, Bear, I love your fight. I'm back to ranting. There you go. Anthony, question marks, Master Bates? Yes, he's pretty dang good. See, Motown, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke crew. Lions rule, Bears drool, 1,000%. Good to see you, Mitch. See, Anthony, 64 against us. All right. Let's see, Casey, Motown, and Morton Anderson and Sebastian Janikowski could boot the ball quite some distance. They both could, yes, especially Janikowski. He had a pretty big leg. I don't know, although it would be cool to see if you go back and study his longest shots, were they on par with Jake Bates? That would be a real question. See, Broski Bear, I want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. With Reader out, the Lions are starting Levi in his place. Levi can't be expected to hold it down by himself with his history of back issues. Hey, if your coaches believe in you, they believe in you. You don't let the past influence the future. That's I don't do that kind of stuff. So we'll wait and see what happens. Ranty Q, pound, all right. Anthony, there is no more back issues for him. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like he's good to go. He's okay. Gained 20 pounds, according to him. Feels better than he ever has. Yeah, 20 pounds of muscle, just to be fair. Yeah, he's really firmed up and massed up. See, Anthony, I believe Reader's going to start game 1. He might, man. He might. They could just be bringing him along slowly. A lot of veterans, especially with this coaching staff, they really take care of the veterans. They don't need as many reps, to get going. So 1 week before the regular season, if he's out there, DJ Reader is out there going through the motions, going through stuff, I think that's a good sign he's playing. Key, what up, Duke crew? Happy Monday, exclamation point. Wasn't that NFL record-setting field goal against the Lions? It was. That would be crazy to break that record, though. Also, I think it should be no more than 2 preseason games. Yeah, I think you're probably got that happening sooner versus later as far as getting rid of another preseason game. I know there's been a lot of talk, especially from former players, get it down to 1. If you want to add 1 more regular season game, go for it, but get rid of 2 preseason games, keep it to 1, add 1 more regular season game. If we're going to get hurt, it seems like a lot of the guys say, I'd rather get hurt in a game that counts than in basically a warm-up. Dennis, good morning, Dan, the Duke crew, back at you. Patrick, Matt Prater also held the longest field goal kick at 64 yards years ago. Yeah, for years. He did. See, Broski, good morning, sir. Patrick, there you go. Anthony, good morning, Brother Steele. Yes, Kurt Steele enjoying Texas right now. Dennis, what up, though, Kurt? What up, though? Patrick, and good morning to you as well, Broski Bear. Dennis, Lions player of the year is Eric Kramer. Of the day, is Eric Kramer. Yeah, greatest Lions quarterback ever. of the last 30 years or so until Jared Goff came around, in my humble opinion, because he actually won a playoff game. Let's see, Anthony, some of the chat failed to understand Swift was behind an elite O-line with the Eagles and Bears O-line, not even close. That's also true. There will be a noticeable difference between those lines. Don Broski, I'm trying to get information on Reader and Davenport to take back to Bear shows. Barroom Network, ESPN Chicago 1000, Nomad Network. He's there telling Bears fans everything he hears here. That happens, man. Creative idea, finger red number 1. Let's go. We'll go with all that. And hey, good morning to you too. See, DM5, I'm so excited for the season. I can only imagine great things. Super Bowl, here we come. Woo, 100%. Good day to you. Trump, Dimitri, what do you got? Trump's genius. Nobody care about Donald Trump. Keep the politics and all that stuff out of here, guys. Out of here. Let's not do that. Randy Q, Dan, when you have a live stream with the season, just tell us where. Really, Carolina Reaper, man, you got great talents. I will tell you this, man. It took it took like a minute for me to really feel it, but then I did, and I could feel a little bit on my lips and the back of my tongue. I had to drink some water. And, Jen was sitting there laughing because she knows I love spicy stuff. If you guys ever seen the show Hot Wings, I've tried to get a number of my friends. Hey, let's try something like that. I like that stuff, man. I like hot stuff. But yeah, after about a minute, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to drink some water here to cool this down because I can feel it on the tongue more than anything. All right, Trump's chips keeping you from being nuclear dust. Okay. Bo, Tampa Bay game tailgate. I'm all down with that. I think that's going to be fun. Be a great time for the Duke crew. Ranting Q, super hot. Super hot. It was, man. But I enjoyed it. I liked it. I kept the rest of it on some spaghetti. I'm going to have that probably for lunch today. Anthony Bo, I'm in for show, 100%. Trump's later alum. All right. We'll go with that later. Have a good day, my friend. JDC, Coach Dan, and Lions Talk Live rocks back at you. You're the same, man. You rock too. Broski, have a great day. Trump's genius. Dimitri, what do you got? Kurt Steele, what up, though? Pat, make a practice squad tomorrow, Coach. I'll jump on that, Pat. I'll try to get something for tomorrow's show. Should have thought ahead on that. Ranting Q, we are depending on Goff to be what Goff has been throughout his career. He is very durable. He is, man, and he probably doesn't get enough recognition for that. Gary Green, salutations, Coach of Duke Crew. I want to say thank you for all the well wishes for my wife. She is out of the hospital and home. Thank you for the Best Lions Talk show. I appreciate you all. That's great news, Gary. I'm glad for you and your family. Hope you guys can get some rest and now just kind of get your energy back, get everything going. So thoughts and prayers, my friend. JDC, 100%. Thumbs up for Gary. Gary praying. Miles, yes, Gary, great. 100%. And good day to you, Miles. Dimitri, Don Burr, what up, though? See, Don, Dimitri, what's up, Flintstone? Let's see, Broski, Dan, I think your expectations for Jameson, since he was the 12th overall pick, are that he becomes a true number 1. Seems like expectations for him have been lowered. I mean, if he ends up being the number 1, great. Is he going to beat out Amon-Ra St. Brown for the number 1? Who knows? Maybe they just have 2 very good weapons. That's what I'd be all okay with. Dennis, Don Burr, you're from Toledo. Chuck E. Cheese, Hooker looked really good to me. The man has a cannon. He does, and he's got some mobility. Now, just got to coach him up a little bit. See, Pat, you need to get JB, the need-biting guy, on. He is awesome. I'll see what I can do for that, Pat. Thank you for the heads up. I'll try to reach out. See, Dennis, Detroit, there you go. Dennis, JMO is going to have a monster season. I agree. I think it's going to be breakout. Dennis, cool Don to me. There you go. Anthony, he's behind some of the decision-making abilities when he got here with Williams. Will break out this year and be the next, be a number 1, wide receiver. He might be, but let's see what he does this year. Don, J-Mo will be just fine, people. Remember, Broski Bear is a Bears fan. This is also true. See, creative idea. If the slot receiver is number 1, he's not good for a long time. J-Mo should be number 1. He might end up being. We'll see what happens this year with J-Mo's progression. Dimitri, let's see. Goddard Jr., love bro, 100%. Ron J, can the Lions sweep the division? Just real 103. Man, that would be something if they can. I think we're in one of the toughest divisions in football, so that would be a real feat if they can pull that off. Anthony, with his ability to stretch the field, now you have to worry about St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs. Going to be fun to watch. Yeah, I think we're going to have a tough offense for most defenses to defend. See, Patrick Broski Bear, how did Caleb Williams do? I missed the Bears game. I hope he does well, except when you play the Lions. This is also true. I hope he falls down when he plays the Lions. See, Dan Skipper should get cut for just his beta woo on your intro. Yeah, his woo is very unique and kind of heartfelt. See, Bo ARSB, the Sun God, is standing in front of JMO becoming number one here. It could be, yeah. Maybe they'll both just be equal. I'm down with that. Patrick, Bo, Booth agree 100%. Dennis Skipper ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I think he's pretty enshrined here. See, Anthony, who is that backup quarterback for Lamar Jackson? I believe he's available. That I will have to check and see, but I'll check on that, Anthony. See, Dash Render, what is he? Tannehill is still free. Yeah, I know Tannehill wants to be a starter. That's why I think you're going to have to wait till after the final preseason games to acquire him or someone like him. See, Broski, Patrick, Bears starters and Bills starters played the first quarter. Caleb looks like he belongs. He was rated the most efficient starting quarterback for the first preseason game, so he did well. Well, let's see what happens, especially when the defenses change a little bit in the regular season. Anthony, Tannehill is not wanting to be a backup quarterback. He wants to start. Yeah, that's why I think he's going to wait a bit. Let's see, Don, Jalen Daniels, and even Joe Mixon looked better than Caleb this weekend. All right. Patrick Broski Bear, good, thanks. Chuck E. Cheese, whoever said Hooker isn't the guy, what game were you watching? That offense picked up when he was on the field. Sudfield sucks. Yes, Nate Sudfield did not do well. Don Bird, Chucky, people saying Hooker didn't look are either one of two things: don't know ball or didn't watch the game. Could be a lot of truth to both. Broski Patrick, defense was lights out. Rookie 5th round pick DE Austin Booker is torching starting left tackle through the first 2 preseason games. All right. Let's see, Dennis, who gives a stuff about the Bears? All right. Don Patrick, Bears defense was getting the ball moved on them at the will of the Bills and didn't finish play out with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. The Dennis take that to a Bears chat. Yes. Willard, Rodney Pete was my first autograph. I mailed the card in and he actually sent it back. My childhood hero. Hey man, I like rapping Rodney Pete. By the way, he was from USC. Broski. Patrick Cheesebro defeated the Bills in Buffalo 33-6. Bills didn't get into the end zone once. Bears had a pick 6 as well. All right, JDC, happy trails, go Lions, victory. There you go. Dennis Sweet, a creative idea. Justin Thaker, 66 yards. All right. Don, Bears defeated Bills backup as starters played half a quarter. Trump's Barry and Spielman over Kramer. Okay. Patrick, thanks for the info. Don Burr. Dennis, Hex, yes, Trumps. Bo, I'm politicking for Brad Holmes. There you go, politicking. Let's see, Anthony, have you ever had slap your mama hot sauce? I have not. Maybe I'll have to check that out. Dennis, stuff is hot. I'll check it. Yeah, I like hot sauce. Let's see, Patrick Broski, Patrick Cheesebo, starters played a full quarter. Okay. Don, Patrick, no problem. Or give us an honest take on Broski. Is a Bears fan. He thinks everybody they do is a A+. Jeremy, Tannehill is a dog he made for the trenches. Who won pride. Yeah, he's a dog made for the trenches. Go there. See, Trump's been trying to leave for half an hour. There you go, man. It's good you're sticking around. Dennis, we worked out Alex Erickson, wide receiver. Brent, great news, Gary. Alan W., do you think James Houston has a chance of making the team? I do. I've heard he hasn't been the best in camp. He also struggled in the preseason game. I think he's got a real chance for what he does. He does well. Might just not be a starter because of it. All right, a couple more here, then I'm out of here. Ron R., your intro solid, just real. Thanks for that, man. Thank you very much for that. See, David, good morning, crew. Exclamation point. Our O-line stinks the other night, not our quarterbacks. The backups probably need some help there. Don, happy trails to you all. Done dusted. See you all tomorrow. See you, Bo. See, Don, Bears, number one slappy, you mean. All right. See any new ones here? Johnny, good morning. Good morning to you, too. Let me know when you want to do the show, my friend. Let's see. Here's Johnny. Don't count Broderick Martin out. No, I think he's going to have a very good season. See, Dimitri, Dan, what do you think about our USC this year? I think we're going to be better than average. How about that? I'm not expecting great things. Maybe those supersede my expectations. Patrick, happy trails. I'll check you out tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Patrick. Deshaun Watson, good morning. Good morning to you, too. Don Berg going to finish it off here. Broski, Adam Manson is live. Oh, I forgot that's another Bears channel you're kicked off of. Okay. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for watching. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as fast as possible. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Also, before you leave, it's free of charge. If you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up button. Otherwise, take care. Enjoy your day. Do something kind for someone else. And we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.